The art of staying. On showing up consistently, not perfectly, for the people you love. Good morning. I want to start today with something that almost never makes it into the highlight reel of a relationship. Not the grand romantic gesture, not the dramatic reconciliation, not the milestone anniversary, or the perfect day that becomes a story you tell for years. I want to talk about Tuesday afternoon, the ordinary Wednesday evening, the Sunday that held no particular magic, just two people, or a parent and a child, or two old friends, moving through time together without anything especially memorable. I want to discuss the art of staying. I think staying, just continuing to show up, imperfectly, in the everyday, is one of the most profound and undervalued things one human being can do for another. And it is, quietly, the thing that holds most loving relationships together. What we mistake for love. We live in a culture with a complicated relationship to consistency. We celebrate the beginning of things, the spark, the excitement, the intensity of a new connection. We celebrate the dramatic, the gesture that costs something, the sacrifice that makes for a good story. We are drawn to the extraordinary, the exceptional, the peak. And so we have come to associate love with those peaks, with the moments that feel cinematic, with feeling, above all else, the rush, the certainty, the warmth of it arriving on cue. But love, in practice, is not mainly made of peaks. It is made of plains, of the long, undramatic middle of things, of showing up when you're tired, when the other person is tired, when nobody is at their best, and when nothing particularly tender or meaningful is said, but you stayed. You were there. You chose, for the 10,000th time, not to leave. That choosing quiet, repeated, unwitnessed, is the structure of love. The peaks are real and matter. But they rest on this, the accumulated weight of all the ordinary days when someone chose to stay. When we forget this, we mistake the absence of peaks for the absence of love. We wonder if something is wrong when things feel routine, when the feeling is steadier than electric, when connection feels less like fireworks and more like the reliable warmth of a lamp in a familiar room. But steady is not small. Reliable is not boring. The lamp that is always on is doing something the fireworks cannot. It is making the dark livable every single night. In a relationship I value, have I been measuring love by its peaks when the real love might be found in the ordinary days? The difficulty of staying. I want to be honest about something because I think it deserves it. Staying is not always easy. I am not talking about staying in harmful situations. Those are a separate conversation entirely, and one worth having separately. I am talking about the ordinary difficulty of sustaining commitment to another person over time. People change. Circumstances change. The version of someone you loved 5 years ago is not the same as the person in front of you now, and neither are you. Loving someone through change, through their becoming and yours, asks something different of us than loving the fixed idea of who they were when things were simple. There are seasons in long relationships when staying requires more than it gives back, at least in the short term, when you are doing the work of showing up without the reward of feeling seen. When the connection feels thin, the distance feels wide, and you cannot quite remember the last time things felt easy. In those seasons, staying is an act of faith. Not blind faith, not the stubborn refusal to acknowledge what is real, but a considered faith. A belief grounded in what you know of this person and this bond, that the thin season is not the whole story, that the distance is not permanent. That showing up today, even imperfectly, is planting something that will eventually grow. The people who have loved well for a long time will often tell you something that surprises younger versions of us, that the seasons of effort, of showing up when it was hard, of staying when leaving would have been easier, those became the seasons they are most proud of. Not the easy times, beautiful as they were, the ones that asked more. Is there a relationship in my life right now that is in a thin season, and what would it mean to stay faithfully through it? How to stay well. Staying is not simply enduring. That matters because there is a version of staying that is passive, merely not leaving, mistaking inertia for commitment. What I mean by staying is being active, intentional, and a daily renewable choice. It looks like paying attention. Not the constant anxious monitoring of a relationship in crisis, but the gentle, ongoing attentiveness of someone who has decided this person matters and acts accordingly. Noticing when they seem off, remembering what they're carrying, asking the question beneath the question. It looks like making time when time is scarce. Relationships do not thrive on leftover energy, on the scraps of attention left after everything else has been served. They need something deliberately set aside. Not always much, but something chosen, not accidental. It looks like a repair. Small, prompt, unglamorous. The willingness to say, "I wasn't at my best yesterday. I'm sorry. Let's find our way back." We often wait too long to repair. We let small distances become habits. We let the discomfort of an unresolved moment calcify into something harder. But relationships are kept alive less by avoiding conflict and more by how quickly and honestly we move through it. Staying well means being curious about someone, even when you think you know them. Especially then. People surprise us when we let them. They hold more than we have discovered, even after years. The partner, the friend, the parent, the sibling who has been in your life for decades, they are still becoming and changing. Still someone worth asking about, listening to, wanting to understand. Curiosity is one of the great acts of love. It says, "I am not finished knowing you. I don't think I ever will be." In a relationship I care about, when did I last approach that person with genuine curiosity, as if there was still something new to discover, carrying this into your day? The art of staying is not a single heroic act. It is 10,000 small ones. It is the text sent for no reason. The evening was given over to someone else's story. The argument moved forward with honesty and care. Tuesday held nothing exceptional except the choice, made quietly, to be present. These small acts accumulate into something extraordinary. Not in any single moment, but across a life. Across the years of a friendship, a partnership, a family. They become its substance. The proof that you were there. That you chose this person again and again, even when you didn't have to. And someday, if you are lucky and if you stay, you will look across a room at someone who has stayed for you as well, and you will understand, without needing to say it, that this is what love is. Not the firework, the lamp. Always on, always there. Morning affirmation. I do not need to be perfect to be present. Showing up consistently, honestly, even on ordinary days is how I love. Today's intention. Choose one person you want to stay with and make one small, deliberate gesture of presence today. It doesn't need to be obviously meaningful. A message, a question, a moment of genuine attention. Just something that says, without words, I am here. I am still here.